The gameplay in the background is a paradox. On paper, it's a great gameplay. 30-6, 5 KD, got all my streaks, play of the game, won by quite a bit. That is this game on paper. But when you're actually watching the gameplay, you see a guy who is obviously having a hard time aiming. My aim was all over the place. I don't know what was going on with this game. And every time I died, not every time, but quite a few times I died, I almost backed out of the lobby even though my team was winning and I was doing well technically. So like, this is a paradox because on paper, great game. Gameplay, not great. So go ahead and watch that. I don't know what happened. The Twilight Zone's happening over here. But I wanted to hop on today to discuss a common comment I get when I talk about how, Treyarch's been listening. They have been adjusting things. We're seeing skill-based matchmaking is gone. We're seeing persistent lobbies. We're seeing aim assist adjustments. We're seeing decent maps. We're seeing a fun game. Like, I'll talk about this stuff, and all of what I'm saying is true. And I'll get the same sort of comment on whatever video that happens to be in, and it'll usually be something along the lines of, well, you see, they're only doing it because Battlefield has to do, and Battlefield's good game and good too. That kind of comment. You know what I'm talking about, and those of you who have left it, you know who you are. And you sound exactly like that. And look, the crazy thing is, you're exactly right. The reason why Treyarch and Activision are so pressed to listen this year is because of the fact that Battlefield released. The beta was well received for Battlefield 6. The game released to a lot of players purchasing the game. Like, it clearly is a successful first-person shooter. Whether or not people currently are enjoying it, it remains to be seen. A lot of Call of Duty people, I think, jumped on that bandwagon real quick because they're, I want to play the good shooter. Call of Duty sucks. Like, those people jumped on that bandwagon real quick and then realized that Battlefield isn't their game. It's more tactical to a degree. It's a much larger map. You're not going to run and gun and act like a lunatic if you're playing correctly. Like, it's just, that's not made for them. So whether or not they're enjoying it, up in the air. But realistically, as far as a first-person shooter Battlefield game is concerned, it came out, it's pretty well received, and it's successful. What I don't get is why people see this as a bad thing and leave that comment. Like, Treyarch and Activision, Infinity Ward, Sledgehammer Games, EA, and DICE are not your friends. They're not. They're just multi-billion-dollar companies that produce a product and put that product out for people to play and enjoy, hopefully. It really just to make them money. That's all these are. Like, none of the devs over at Treyarch are saying, "Oh, poor Phierce, he said he didn't like the doors. I gotta take the doors out for Phierce because he's our friend." No, that's not how that works. They wouldn't give two craps. They don't care. That's not how any of this works. Like, y'all will leave this comment like, "Oh, they're only doing it because Battlefield." Yes, because competition matters. Products are at their best when there is a competitor. That's why monopolies suck. When you have a product and that product is in direct competition with another product, those two products are now forced to go out of their way to make you want to buy them. That is how capitalism essentially functions. McDonald's has to try hard because Burger King is next door, or Wendy's probably. Burger King sucks. You get the point. Okay, Call of Duty now has to try because Battlefield is releasing a successful game. And it goes vice versa too. Like, that's how this has functioned. We've seen how EA handles games when there's no competition in their space. You just look at Battlefront 2. That game was handled incredibly poorly. There's no other first-person space Star Wars shooters to compete with, so they could do whatever the heck they wanted. It's not like EA and DICE are these good people who are just like, "Oh, we listen to the community," unlike those people over at Treyarch. No, they won't. They don't. If there's no competition, they're not listening either. The only reason why Battlefield is like going out of their way this year is because they feel like they have a shot at Call of Duty, and Call of Duty is their direct competitor for some bizarre reason. They're not even the same kind of game. They're both FPS shooters, but like one's arcade, one's trying to be a light milsim. Like they're not They're not really the same, but the competition, that's what it is. It's Battlefield versus Call of Duty, and that's how it's been for years. The end result is I keep seeing this comment, and if you leave these comments, oh, well, they only listen because of Battlefield, y'all are stupid. That's just how it works, okay? Congratulations, Captain Frickin' Obvious. Yes, they only listen because they have direct competition, because they are a multi-billion-dollar company and only want to make money. That is their thing. They're not your friend. They never were your friend. They're never going to be your friend. They make games. I'm sure the devs aren't bad people, but they have to listen to their boss, and their boss says, oh yeah, do this thing to make more money. And they have to listen. That's how this works. And the same goes for the other side. EA and DICE are only, quote, listening to the community to keep you engaged with the game and not go play the direct competition. Call of Duty won't listen if they don't have direct competition. If there's no one to compete against, they know they're the only game in town and you're going to go play their game. So of course they're not going to listen when there's like a several year gap. They might if they realize they can make more money by doing so. But at the end of the day, that's what it comes down to. Will they make more money doing X or doing Y? And you got to convince the corporate suits up at the top that that's what needs to be done. So that's the reality of the situation. And that's the video. So yeah, if you leave those comments, just stop it. You're being a silly goose. Anyways, guys, if you're new here, hit the subscribe button. If you liked the video, hit the like button. If you didn't, go ahead, dislike. I don't care. And leave in the comment section below anything but the comment I said don't leave. Okay? I don't really much care what else you say. But don't leave that one, or I'll fight you. And I'll catch you all later.